Imagine stepping into a postcard. Crystal clear turquoise waters. Maybe white sandy beaches stretching out. And, that tantalizing dream of owning your very own slice of paradise.
Mm.
Perhaps a luxurious villa or, a sleek condominium somewhere like Thailand.
It's an incredibly appealing vision, isn't it?
Totally. But as with any big investment, especially in a foreign country, the reality of making that dream happen means, well, navigating some specific legal pathways.
And they're quite different from what you might be used to back home.
Exactly.
And this is really where clarity becomes your most valuable asset.
Hmm.
While the opportunities for foreign property ownership in Thailand are genuinely exciting, the legal landscape really demands a precise understanding.
Right.
You certainly don't want that idyllic dream turning into, well, a frustrating maze of nasty surprises.
No, you don't. And that's precisely our mission today. We've taken a really comprehensive guide, specifically drawing insights from Ocean Worldwide. Yeah. They're a luxury real estate agency based right in Phuket, been there since 2004.
Oh yeah, Sandra O'Neill's agency.
That's the one. Their director, Sandra O'Neill, she's apparently helped thousands of families and investors over the years. So we've distilled their insights into the absolute critical nuggets of knowledge you need.
To be truly well-informed.
Exactly. And here's the first crucial takeaway, the one thing that should echo through everything we discussed today. Getting a qualified Thai property lawyer involved isn't just advisable.
No.
It's non-negotiable. They are your ultimate guide and protector in this whole journey.
Think of them as your essential safeguard, really. They have that nuanced understanding of Thai law that, frankly, no amount of online research can ever replace.
Good point.
They're not a luxury. They are a fundamental part of actually securing your investment.
So what does this deep dive mean for you, our listener?
Yeah.
We're going to try and untangle everything. We'll start with the different ownership structures available for foreigners, then the essential documents you'll encounter, how to do that meticulous due diligence that truly protects your interests.
Very important.
The payment process, and exactly why that legal counsel we just mentioned is probably your best investment in all of this.
Right. We'll cover key terms, things like the chanote, those foreign exchange transaction forms.
Making sure you understand not just what to do, but maybe more importantly, why it all matters. So let's dive in.
Okay.
Okay, so the first big hurdle, and one that often catches people by surprise, is that property ownership for foreigners in Thailand isn't quite the same deal as in, say, many Western countries.
Not at all. There are specific structures in place that you absolutely must understand before you even think about taking any steps.
And a key distinction here is between freehold and leasehold, right?
That's the main one. For many, that's already a bit of a hurdle. So what is the core difference, and how does it specifically impact a foreigner's options in Thailand?
Well, for foreigners, freehold condominium ownership is generally the most straightforward path. It means you can own a condo unit outright.
Your name right on the chanote.
Exactly, the chanote, which is Thailand's official title deed.
Yeah.
You get full ownership rights, you can sell it, pass it down, whatever. But yeah, there's a critical catch. It's especially relevant in the luxury condo market in places like Phuket or, Bangkok.
The 49% rule.
Right. Foreigners collectively can only own up to 49% of the total saleable area within any single condominium building. It's not just about the number of units.
No, it's the floor space. And that 49% foreign ownership quota is a really firm limit. If a building's already hit that threshold, you simply cannot buy a freehold unit there. Doesn't matter if one comes up for sale.
It really is like trying to get into a popular club. Once it's full, it's full.
Pretty much. And crucially, for these freehold condo purchases, your funds must come from overseas.
In foreign currency.
In foreign currency, yes. And you'll need proof. Usually a foreign exchange transaction form, they often call it an FET, or sometimes an equivalent bank statement for smaller amounts.
Why is that form so important?
Well, it proves the fund's foreign origin to your Thai bank, and critically to the land office. That's essential for getting the property legally registered in your name as a foreigner.
Got it. Okay, so that's condos.
Right.
Now, what if your dream property is more like a house or maybe even a plot of land?
Right. In that case, freehold ownership isn't typically an option for foreigners.
Okay.
Instead, you'll generally be looking at a leasehold agreement. This usually means you lease the property for a maximum term of 30 years.
30 years?
30 years, yeah, often with possibilities for renewal built into the contract. So you don't actually own the land itself, but you secure the right to use and benefit from the property for that whole lease duration. It's a long-term secure right.
Okay, so what are the upsides of leasehold then?
Well, leasehold arrangements offer that secure, long-term stake, and they're generally less expensive when it comes to the registration taxes compared to freehold. And a smart strategy, often recommended especially for larger luxury properties, is to ensure the lessor, that's the legal owner of the land you're leasing from,
Right.
is structured as a limited company rather than just an individual person.
Why is that?
It can add a significant layer of stability and security to your long-term lease arrangement. It's often seen as more robust.
Interesting. And when it comes to the actual documents, the key ones we'll hear about.
You'll definitely encounter the chanote for freehold condos.
Yep.
Think of it as the property's birth certificate and title deed all rolled into one.
Okay.
For leasehold, you'll have a registered lease agreement, obviously, and then there's also the tabi and ben,
The house book.
the house registration book. Yeah.
Hmm.
Often it's issued in yellow for foreigners. It acts like a sort of property passport for residency purposes.
But it doesn't actually denote ownership itself.
Correct. That tabi and ben is your official proof that you reside at the property. It's an important piece of the bureaucratic puzzle for foreigners living in Thailand, but distinct from ownership title.
So, bottom line, whether you're eyeing, say, a family home down in Chalong, Phuket, or maybe a luxury villa up in Koh Samui, understanding if it's freehold or leasehold is your absolute critical first step. It really dictates the entire legal framework of your purchase.
Absolutely fundamental.
Okay, so with the ownership structures a bit clearer, let's tackle the next potential headache, the paperwork. It's definitely not as simple as buying a souvenir off the street, is it?
No, indeed. The documentation and that due diligence process, they are your absolute shield against future problems.
Right.
Skipping the stages, well, it's like trying to build a skyscraper without laying a proper foundation. It just leaves you incredibly vulnerable.
You need that solid foundation.
Wow.
So let's talk essential documents for the purchase. First up is usually the quotation and reservation agreement.
That's typically the first step, yes. This is where you put down a deposit. It could be anywhere from, say, 50,000 to 200,000 baht for a condo, typically.
And that takes the property off the market.
Exactly. It reserves it for you. But crucially, this agreement must clearly state the conditions under which your deposit will be refunded.
Like if the due diligence turns up something bad?
Precisely. If your checks uncover issues you weren't aware of, that refund clause is really your first line of financial defense.
Yeah.
Don't sign without it being crystal clear.
Good advice. Okay, after the reservation?
After that, you move to the cornerstone document, the sale and purchase agreement, or SPA.
The big one?
This is the main contract. It meticulously lays out all the crucial details: the final agreed price, the precise payment schedule.
Especially important for off-plan, I guess.
Very important for off-plan, yes.
Yeah.
Including projected completion dates and, importantly, penalties if the developer faces delays.
Okay.
It should always be drafted in both Thai and English, and this is exactly where your qualified Thai property lawyer steps in. Their thorough review is paramount before you sign anything. Don't just rely on the developer's standard contract.
Makes sense. And circling back to that key document we mentioned earlier, the foreign exchange transaction forms, FETs.
Yes, absolutely essential. They're required for foreign buyers, particularly for amounts over US $50,000 or the equivalent.
And these are mandated by the land department.
Yes. To prove your funds originated overseas, this is especially vital for freehold purchases. So if you're looking at, say, a luxurious waterfront villa in Yamu over on Koh Samui, or maybe a high-end condo in Bangkok, remember to keep these FET forms safe and meticulously organized for every single payment you make from your overseas account.
They're the non-negotiable bureaucratic proof of where the money came from.
Exactly, and they directly facilitate the property registration later on. Now, let's talk a bit more about conducting that thorough due diligence.
Okay.
The first step usually involves verifying the title deeds and the ownership history. Your lawyer will meticulously check the chanote.
Looking for what specifically?
Looking for any outstanding mortgages, liens, court orders, or any other legal claims registered against the property. It's like examining the property's complete medical history and its family tree.
To make sure the chain of ownership is clean?
Exactly. You need to ensure a clear, unencumbered chain of ownership, confirming the seller genuinely has the legal right to sell it to you.
And it's not just about who owns it now, right? You also need to look at permits.
Absolutely. Reviewing building permits and regulations is vital. You want confirmation that the property has all the correct permits in place.
Like environmental assessments?
Yes, including crucial environmental impact assessments, EIAs, for larger projects, to ensure the construction was legal and complies with all local building standards.
I mean, imagine buying a beautiful place only to find out later that, I don't know, part of it was built without proper approval.
Yeah, that could lead to potential fines or, in the worst case, even demolition orders. It happens.
Ouch.
Precisely. And if you're considering an off-plan purchase where you're buying based on plans,
Right before it's built.
investigating the developer's reputation and their financial stability is absolutely critical. You need to scrutinize their track record, check their financial health, look into their company registration details.
This isn't just ticking boxes then.
Not at all. It's about safeguarding your entire investment and ensuring your future peace of mind. So, thinking about all these checks, what stands out to you as maybe the most critical one in this due diligence phase?
That's tough. But I think for me, it still has to be the title deed verification. If that isn't absolutely clear and clean, then everything else you do, all the other checks, could potentially be undermined. It feels foundational.
I'd agree with that. It's the bedrock.
Okay, so we've got the documents sorted, we've done our homework, our due diligence. Now we dive into the really fine print, the legal scrutiny, and then critically, how you actually transfer the money.
Right. And this stage truly illuminates the intricacies of Thai law. It's where a skilled legal team really earns their fee.
I bet.
It's actually fascinating how a carefully drafted contract can act almost like an impenetrable barrier against future disputes, and also how seemingly minor details in the payment process can carry pretty significant implications.
So looking at the legal scrutiny of the documents themselves, what is the lawyer checking specifically? Zoning.
Yes, absolutely. Checking zoning and planning permissions is key. This ensures the property's intended use, let's say, residential, is actually permitted in its specific zone.
Why does that matter so much?
Well, it helps you avoid future heartaches, like discovering maybe years later that a new highway is planned to run right through what you thought was your quiet sea view.
Oh, wow.
Or finding out you can't operate a home business if that was your plan. Zoning matters, and assessing any unapproved building modifications is also critical, particularly if you're buying an older property.
You mean renovation someone did without permission?
Exactly. You need to know if any changes were made without the proper permits, because that can certainly lead to headaches, fines, maybe even demolition orders down the track. Your lawyer ensures all necessary permits for existing renovations exist.
And what about the contract clauses themselves?
That's maybe the most important part, ensuring the enforceability of all contract clauses. Your lawyer will scrutinize every single clause.
To make sure they're fair.
Fair, yes, but also legal, and crucially, enforceable under Thai law. For instance, the source material we looked at explicitly warns that nominee ownership is against the law.
Right, trying to use a Thai person's name to hold land.
Exactly. It's illegal and incredibly risky. So a lawyer spots clauses related to practices like that, or clauses that might look harmless to you but could be completely unenforceable and put your whole investment at risk.
So the lawyer is like your personal decoder ring for the contract.
That's a good way to put it, yes. Now let's talk about actually navigating the payment process itself.
Okay.
We've touched on it, but it really bears repeating. Those overseas fund transfers and the documentation that goes with them are absolutely vital.
The FETs again?
Those foreign exchange transaction forms, or FETs, or sometimes equivalent bank statements for smaller sums, they are the key documents. They prove your funds originated overseas.
And that proof is what the land department needs.
Exactly. It's what enables the land department to register the property in a foreigner's name. So whether you're looking at a sleek condo in Bangkok or a villa down in Bang Tao, Phuket, or maybe a luxury property over in Pattaya.
Anywhere, really?
Anywhere. Getting those overseas fund transfers properly documented is completely non-negotiable.
And tied to that, I assume, is sticking to the payment schedule.
Intrinsically linked, yes. Adhering strictly to the scheduled payments and maintaining meticulous records. Your sale and purchase agreement, the SPA, will precisely outline the payment schedule.
Especially for off-plan, tied to building stages.
Often tied to construction milestones for off-plan properties, correct. You must adhere to this schedule. And critically, you need to keep every single receipt, every bank transfer confirmation.
Why? Just for your own records?
Well, yes, but it also creates an unassailable audit trail. It protects you from any later disputes about whether or when payments were made.
Okay, good point. And what about deposit protection, that first bit of money you put down?
Yes, understanding deposit protection is another key element. Your initial reservation deposit, as we mentioned, should have very clear conditions for a refund, for instance, if that due diligence uncovers serious issues.
Right.
You'll want to ensure that deposit is held securely. Ideally, maybe in an escrow account managed by a neutral third party, rather than just being paid directly to the seller or developer upfront without any safeguards.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Honestly, this whole segment, it really just boils down to one undeniable truth, doesn't it?
Which
You
is,
absolutely, positively need a qualified Thai property lawyer. It's truly not an optional extra cost. It's a critical investment that saves you potentially huge sums and a lot of stress down the line.
absolutely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, engaging a lawyer isn't just about, translation services.
No.
It's about having a dedicated advocate on your side who deeply understands the nuances, the complexities of Thai property law. Which makes me wonder,
Right.
what exactly should a prospective buyer expect their lawyer to do for them beyond just reading the contract?
That's a great question. Well, you should certainly expect them to be a specialist in property law, specifically for foreign buyers.
Right, not just any lawyer.
No. They need to be able to explain everything clearly in plain English or whatever your language is and actively protect your interests above all else. They're your legal translator, your risk assessor, and basically your steadfast team player in the whole deal.
Precisely. And they will meticulously review all those key contractual clauses. They'll go through every detail of your sale and purchase agreement, any reservation forms, lease agreements if it's leasehold.
Looking for.
They'll scrutinize payment schedules, completion dates, and any penalties tied to them, transfer clauses, potential hidden fees you might not spot, and the mechanisms for dispute resolution, what happens if things go wrong.
And making sure nothing's unenforceable.
Critically, yes. Ensuring no clauses exist that might be problematic or unenforceable under Thai law, like that nominee ownership issue we talked about.
And taxes. That's a big one too, right? They help with that.
Oh, absolutely crucial. Providing invaluable advice on tax implications. This is paramount for understanding all the taxes you'll likely encounter.
Like what?
Things like transfer fees, stamp duty, possibly a specific business tax depending on the seller's circumstances.
Yeah.
Then there's withholding tax if you plan to rent out the property later,
Right.
and ongoing annual property and land taxes. A lawyer ensures you avoid unexpected penalties and can even advise on the most tax-efficient ownership structure for your particular situation.
Getting that wrong could lead to some very nasty surprises later on.
Very significant and unwelcome financial surprises, yes, often long after the purchase seems complete.
It really does sound like a small price to pay for genuine peace of mind, doesn't it?
It generally is in the grand scheme of the investment.
You certainly don't want unexpected tax bills ruining your dream of paradise.
Definitely not.
Okay, so you've done all the groundwork, you've signed the papers, the money's sorted,
Mm-mm.
but you're not quite holding the keys just yet. There's that critical final stage, the property inspection and the handover.
This stage represents your final, really important opportunity to ensure the property meets all the agreed standards before legal ownership officially changes hands.
So a question that probably comes up here is, what level of scrutiny is really necessary during this inspection? And what happens if you find something isn't quite right?
Well, you need to be incredibly thorough here. This is your chance to conduct really exhaustive pre-handover inspections.
What are we talking about checking?
We're talking about checking everything. The paint finish, the water pressure from all the taps, air conditioning units functioning correctly, all the electrical sockets and switches, the plumbing, no leaks.
Should you do this alone?
It's highly advisable to bring your lawyer, or even better, a professional property inspector with you. The goal is simple. You want to catch problems before they become your problems.
A good motto.
And if you do identify any issues during that inspection,
But then,
it's vital to be precise in addressing these identified defects. Create a clear, itemized list of snags, as they're often called. Could be anything from a loose light switch to a cracked tile or a window that doesn't close properly.
just tell the developer.
Critically, get a written agreement from the seller or the developer detailing exactly what fixes are required, and importantly, a firm time frame for completing them. Don't just rely on verbal assurances like, oh yeah, we'll sort that out.
Get it in writing.
Always. Once you're fully satisfied with the inspection and any agreed fixes, then you move to finalizing the payments on transfer day.
This is that last financial hurdle, right?
Exactly. This often takes place physically at the local land department office, and you need to make absolutely certain you have all your paperwork, especially those crucial AT forms we keep mentioning, perfectly in order.
It sounds like a big moment, like when you're finalizing the purchase of a specific luxury villa down in Patong, Phuket. Having all your documents meticulously prepared just makes that whole process incredibly smooth, I imagine.
It really does. Avoids delays and stress on the day. Then comes the official property registration and transfer itself.
At the land department.
Yes. You or your lawyer will attend the land department for this final definitive legal step. You'll need key documents ready: your passport, those FET forms, your sale and purchase agreement, maybe other supporting docs.
And this is where fees get paid too.
Correct. At the land department, you'll also settle the payment of the various transfer fees and taxes. This typically includes the government transfer fee, stamp duty, and sometimes a specific business tax.
Who pays those?
Usually, these fees are split between the buyer and seller, though the exact split can often be negotiated up front in your sale and purchase agreement. Your lawyer helps clarify this.
Okay.
And this truly is the moment of truth. The land department official will formally endorse the chanote, the title deed, with your name on it for freehold condos.
Your name on the title.
Exactly. Or they'll formally register your lease agreement for houses and land. And you'll also receive the Tabian Balian, that yellow house registration book for foreigners.
So these are your undeniable official proofs.
Correct. Proof of ownership or your long-term lease rights.
Wow. Imagine finally holding the original title deed for, I don't know, a stunning luxury beachfront condominium up in Macau, Phuket, or maybe a magnificent property over in Koh Samui. That's the precise moment all this careful groundwork truly pays off.
It is a significant moment, but even once that major step is complete, there's still a bit of post-purchase administration to think about.
Like what? Practical stuff?
Practical stuff, yes. You'll need to get utility services set up in your name: electricity, water, internet.
Right.
And for condos or properties within managed estates, you'll also need to understand and start paying the common area fees. These cover shared amenities like swimming pools, gardens, security, general upkeep.
And those are ongoing?
Yes, typically ongoing monthly or quarterly payments. Factor those into your budget.
Okay. And finally, a piece of advice that just cannot be overstated.
Mm-hmm.
Always maintain meticulous property records.
Absolutely. Keep all your important documents, your original title deed or lease agreement, the SPA, all payment receipts, those FET forms, utility bills. Keep everything organized and stored in a secure place. You might need them later.
Right. So this whole systematic approach, it ensures not just a successful purchase,
but hopefully a seamless integration into your new life in Thailand, allowing you to truly relax and enjoy your investment.
Okay, so you've successfully navigated the entire process, keys in hand. But even then, being smart about potential pitfalls can save you a world of future hassle, right?
Definitely. This final point really reinforces that being prepared isn't about being negative or pessimistic.
No.
It's just about being intelligent and proactive. It's actually surprising how often fairly basic oversights can lead to significant problems down the line.
So what strategies can a new property owner actively employ to safeguard their investment, even after the deal seems done?
Well, first off, avoiding tax compliance oversights is absolutely crucial. We mentioned taxes earlier, but it bears repeating.
You need ongoing advice.
You really need professional advice on all taxes related to your property, not just the transfer fees and stamp duty paid at purchase, but things like income tax if you decide to rent it out, and any ongoing annual property or land taxes. Staying compliant avoids unexpected bills and potentially severe penalties. It's an ongoing responsibility.
Okay. What else?
Protecting against unenforceable contract clauses remains critical even after you've signed. This is really where the initial detailed work of your qualified legal professional truly pays dividends.
Because they made sure it was solid from the start.
Exactly. They ensured all clauses were fair, legal, and genuinely enforceable under Thai law right from the beginning. Remember, a contract is only as good as its enforceability in court if a dispute arises.
Good point. And to tie it all back to where we started this whole conversation.
Title deeds.
Ensuring that meticulous title deed verification was done properly. This is absolutely critical for proving your legal ownership and making sure no hidden claims or debts, like old mortgages or liens, existed at the time you purchased.
That thorough land department check, completed by your lawyer before you bought, prevents disputes before they even have a chance to start. It gives you that ultimate peace of mind.
So if you're looking at, say, one of those villas in Phuket, starting around THB 26,900,000,
Yeah.
confirming those land ownership and title details were thoroughly checked is the absolute foundation of your peace of mind about that investment.
Couldn't agree more. Ultimately, the core takeaway from all of this is pretty clear, isn't it?
Do your homework.
Do your homework with unwavering diligence, yes. Get absolutely everything significant in writing, and most importantly, Rely on independent, qualified legal expertise. Don't just rely solely on the seller or the agent, however helpful they seem.
It's that methodical approach that builds genuine confidence in what is, after all, a very significant investment.
Exactly right.
And there you have it. Our deep dive into trying to navigate the legal complexities of buying property in Thailand. By proactively following this kind of detailed guide and definitely leveraging expert legal counsel, you've hopefully gained a powerful shortcut to being truly well-informed. It helps ensure your investment is sound and that your dream property in Thailand brings only joy, not headaches.
We truly hope this empowers you, our listener, to be thorough and proactive. That really allows you to fully enjoy your new place without any of those nasty surprises potentially lingering on the horizon.
Definitely. And maybe a final thought to leave you with. Given how meticulously one has to navigate property laws abroad, especially in a place like Thailand, what unexpected lessons does this teach us about the very concept of ownership itself? Beyond just having a deed in your hand.
That's an interesting question to ponder.
Something to think about.